Okay, we are ready. All right, well, it is 6 o'clock. We are going to begin and try to honor everyone's time. Welcome, class of 2026, to the Hillsborough High School presentation. Bienvenidos a todos a la clase de 2026 a Hillsborough High School, presentación de nuestra escuela. Soy la directora, señora Jones Kerr. I am the principal of Hillsborough High School, very, very proud principal, and we welcome you all here tonight.
Y hola, yo soy Francisco Manriquez, el subdirector de la preparatoria de Hillsborough. Hi, my name is Francisco Manriquez, and I am the assistant principal at Hillsborough High School. Very excited to be here with everybody.
And good evening. My name is Kelly Mace, and I'm one of the school counselors here at Hillsborough High School.
Bienvenidos a todos. My name is Flores. I'm another counselor here. If your kid's last name starts with the letter K through L through Z, they'll have me as their counselor. And I'm going to make a brief announcement in Spanish, if that's okay. Para las personas que necesitan interpretación en español, por favor, háganle clic al globo de abajo. Okay. Háganle clic al globo de abajo y vamos a tener interpretación simultáneamente. ¿Ok? Gracias.
We can go to the next slide, Ms. Mace. Great. So today for our agenda, we have a few things, as you can see here. The first bullet point, we'll talk about a typical freshman schedule and what that looks like. The second thing we'll talk about are the course selections at HHS. And last but not least, we will have questions and answers for you at the end of the presentation. So if you have a question, feel free to write it down. You can also put it in the chat, and then we will do our best to answer those questions for you at the end of the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Manriquez. Again, I am Amy Jones Kerr, the principal of Hillsborough High School. Very, very honored. It's a privilege to serve as the leader of Hillsborough High School. I bet you parents are sitting there wondering, how in the world is my little baby going into high school? I can relate to that. I too have a daughter going into 9th grade. So I totally can relate, but here we go. 9th grade schedule. Your child will be taking English 9. They will additionally be taking a math class to be determined depending on their level or where they're at. They additionally will be taking physical education course, a life science course, as well as a freshman Compass ethnic studies course, as well as an elective of their choice. And we'll be going over some of that information with you. And they also will be taking language other than English. And that is, in a nutshell, 9th grade freshman courses for next year.
All right, so you're probably wondering how you pick your classes. And we are going to go over that right now. We're going to show you how to make your choices on the Google form that will be emailed to you at the end of this presentation or tomorrow morning. So this is the Google form. And we're going to use, I'm going to choose classes for myself right now. And we're going to do it in English. It is an option to complete it in Spanish. So we're going to go ahead to the next slide for the next section. And it has some information that you can read. And we want your student's name. Please give us the full legal name of the student who will be joining the Hillsborough High School class of 2026. So the name on their birth certificate. We want to know the best way to get a hold of you. So give us some contact information. Right? If it's your email address, your cell phone, you could put your name if it's not you filling it out. This information can look a lot of different ways. Go a lot of different ways. All right. So I want to be contacted by my Google Voice line. I'm going to put that there. And then your first choice that you get to make is for English. right? All students will take English 9. You do have some choices if you are in need of a special education English class, or if you are an English language learner, you would make these choices here: English 9, English language development, special education. We have provided the English course sequence for you. So all the students take English 9, and then from English 9, you can move on to take English 10 or English 10 honors. And you could see the different choices in junior year and senior year. But for the purpose of this exercise today, I'm going to choose for myself English 9. And next up, Mr. Flores and I will both go over math a little bit.
Okay, so your math sequence, as an incoming 9th grader, you're going to have pretty limited sort of choices, right? Most of our ninth graders take IM1 or IM2. Depending on what level you're taking currently at your 8th grade. If you're doing Math 8 at the junior high, obviously you'll come in at IM1 here at the high school. If you are already taking IM1 at a junior high level, obviously you will be taking IM2. Parents, this is a bit new, right? So just to let you know, IM1 is traditionally our algebra course back in the olden days. IM2 is the geometry course. And we've moved away from that from the last few years, and but you know, I get that question asked quite a bit, so I just want you to know. Okay, now if your child or if you're taking advanced courses, feel free to email your counselor to let us know. But for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to have our incoming 9th graders either select IM1 or IM2. If you are taking, like I said, an advanced course, feel free to email Ms. Mays or myself, and we'll give you, we'll put our email addresses at the end of the presentation. So for this exercise, I'm going to go ahead and click IM1. Okay. Remember, that's our algebra course.
All right. So Ms. Mace has taken IM1 next year. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Flores.
Right. Before you go on, we're not going to go into the whole sequence of events, right? Your students will get more of this once they're here at the high school. We just want to make sure that you know exactly what to take your freshman year. Okay. But as you can see, this is the scoping sequence of our courses here at the high school.
And hopefully you'll join us in the fall for Freshman Parent Night, where we'll go over this information again as well. So we'll have lots of time to digest all of this information and to understand it. We're going to move on to your science choices. So you do have some choices next year in science. So freshmen get to choose between biology and sustainable agricultural biology, or what most students call ag bio. We have provided the information for you to map out all 4 years if that is something you would want to do. But your choices that you need to make tonight, tomorrow morning, you know, before pretty soon, is either biology or agricultural ag biology. There's a description provided for you about the 2 different courses and what is taught in each. And it's Mr. Flores, what should I take next year?
Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and select ag bio.
I like it. We're going to go with it. It's ag bio.
Miss Mays, do I have to show an animal if I take ag bio?
That is a great question, Mr. Flores, because I am not going to show an animal at the fair, but I can still take ag bio, because you do not have to show an animal to be a part of agricultural biology. You do get to learn about FFA, or Future Farmers of America, but it does not require that you show an animal. Excellent question. I think we can move on, yes?
Yeah, I think so.
You gonna do language other than English?
Sure, and this one's a doozy, so bear with me on this one, okay? So In terms of graduation requirements, Hillsborough High School requires that our students have a minimum of 2 years, right? At least 2 years of LOTE. That would be, and the only LOTE course that we offer at Hillsborough High School is Spanish. Yes, we used to offer French back in the olden days, but we did not have enough signups, so we had to reduce to only Spanish. Keep in mind, it's a 2-year requirement. This is the only time, and I have to be very clear about what this means, because the way high school graduation works, it's not based on your GPA like the junior high does. It's based on completing credits that you accumulate by passing courses as you progress from freshman to sophomore to junior to your senior year. Each course, obviously, well, not obviously, I mean, each course it's worth 10 credits per year. So if students take 7 classes, students are, can take, can accumulate 70 credits a year. In terms of LOTE, there is a 2-year minimum requirement for graduation. However, if your student is taking Spanish 1, for example, at the junior high, and if they want to start with Spanish 2 at the high school, they've already completed that 2 quote unquote year, because this is a level completion. So if your student can enter at level 2, your student would have already completed level 2 Spanish, and therefore the graduation requirement. Obviously, for A through G requirements, college admissions purposes, we highly recommend a 3rd or even a 4th year of an LOTE language. Most of our students will go into either Spanish 1 or Spanish 2 next year. And keep in mind that if you struggle with Spanish at the middle school level, even if you've taken it for a couple of years, our recommendation is that you go into Spanish 1. I've seen a lot of our students start with Spanish 2 who do not speak Spanish already, and they struggle at the middle school level. We want to make sure that your students are successful their freshman year. So if that is a class that you struggle in the middle school, just be aware that you'll have 4 years to fulfill that graduation requirement. So we recommend that you start with Spanish 1. Given that it's a graduation requirement, just about everyone will be enrolled in either Spanish 1 or Spanish 2. So for the purpose of this exercise, when you get the email link for this Google form, we are asking you to please select either Spanish 1 or Spanish 2. Now, if you already speak a language, if you already speak Spanish, our recommendation is that you take Spanish 3 as a native speaker, okay? I am going to, si hablo español, o sea que voy a elegir el nivel 3. Since I already speak Spanish, I'm going to go ahead and select Spanish 3, okay?
Good choice, Mr. Flores.
And Ms. Mace, I just want to make a quick announcement. We do have interpretation available. If you've just joined us, at the bottom, there's a globe. You can click on it and you can hear this presentation in Spanish. Si entraron tarde a la junta, pueden hacer clic en el icono del mundo abajo y pueden escuchar esta presentación en español.
Thank you, Mr. Manriquez. All right, so we've made our language other than English choice. So we're going to move on to PE. All freshmen are required to take PE in the state of California and here in Hillsborough High School. So you get one choice as a freshman. It's called Sports and Fitness 1. You're going to select that. Pretty easy. I get all the easy ones, Mr. Flores.
Ms. Mace, can I just skip PE? Can I do that? Believe it or not, I do get that question quite a bit. Can I just not do PE freshman year?
Yes, we do get that question, but it is mandated by the state of California, not our rules. Go to the state and they require that all freshmen take PE, and we follow that rule here at Hillsborough High School. So you will all be in Sports and Fitness 1. Sorry, Mr. Flores, you can't skip it. You will have other opportunities to earn PE credits through other means as a sophomore, junior, and a senior, but we are not going to go over that today. We are just going to explain to you that you will be picking Sports and Fitness 1, and all of you will be taking PE. Mr. Flores, you're up for Freshman Compass and Avid 9 and Ethnic Studies.
Well, you were involved in this one. You want to take this? Want to take this one?
We'll do it together. All
Okay,
right. So next year, the class of 2026 has this amazing opportunity to take both Freshman Compass and Ethnic Studies. So you will all be taking a full year of this class. It is a graduation requirement. You must pass both classes. You do have a choice today between Freshman Compass or Avid 9. So if you are currently in Avid, we would recommend that you continue on into Avid 9, and you will take Avid 9 and your Ethnic Studies, and we've provided the sequence here for you. If you are not currently in Avid and you don't know what Avid is, then you most likely will be taking Freshman Compass next year. You'll do Freshman Compass in the first semester and Ethnic Studies in the second semester. Again, these are graduation requirements, and you will all take this class, and you need to pass it to graduate. What Freshman Compass does is it prepares ninth graders to succeed in high school. You'll use that first semester to learn about high school, to learn about some survival skills. Hopefully you'll do some planning thinking about the future will be in your classes, helping you learn about graduation requirements, college requirements, different things. And then in the spring, you will all take Ethnic Studies, and you will learn. Mr. Flores, you want to chime in?
Sure. I mean, the students will learn about the contributions that many different ethnic groups have made to the history of the United States. I just want to reiterate that this is a local requirement at this juncture. However, the state of California will mandate this as a graduation requirement in the near future. The bill has already passed, so we're a little bit, ahead of the curve in terms of this. So the main focus of Ethnic Studies will be, the contributions of the Latin American contributions here in the state of California and the U.S., the Native American contribution, and the history of what happened to our Native American population here in California and the U.S., and many other contributions that groups have made to where we are right now. In terms of, well, I think that's all I have in terms of Ethnic Studies. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. And in terms of tonight and the choices you get to make, it's really only between whether or not you want to be part of Avid 9. And again, Avid does stand for Advancement via Individual Determination. This is a program for students in the academic middle who want to go to college, who want to be college bound, but need a little additional support in order to get that help and to be college ready. So if that sounds like you, then you would choose Avid 9. And I was a first generation student. Neither of my parents went to college. One of them didn't even graduate from high school. So I would have been a student who would have loved to have been an Avid when I was in school. So that's what we're going to go ahead and pick for this is Avid 9. All right, and we're going to move on to your next choices, which are electives. Mr. Flores' favorite misnomer.
So when I was playing with this Google form here, this form would allow you to select the same sort of course, for first, second, third, and fourth choice. And I'm gonna, before I explain what electives means, I'm gonna just let you know that please don't do that. Just because, let's say you're, see, just like what Ms. Mace is doing right now, she selected Ag Farm to Table for her first, second, third, and fourth choice, right? But guess what? Let's say you were to pick that one, and that class is full, right? And then I don't see that you have a second third or fourth choice, then guess what's going to happen? Miss Bays, what happens to students that do that?
Ooh, it's fun. Mr. Flores and I pick your classes for you.
Right. Yes. This is where we get some freshmen saying, I never signed up for this class. And then I take a look at the request. I'm like, you sign up for the same, elective 3-4 times. So, so just be aware of that. Okay. Now, in terms of what an elective is, a lot of students think electives are those quote unquote fun classes, and please don't, tell that to the math department or the English department. But this is the information that I get from the kids, right? They say, these are the fun classes, Mr. Flores. But that's not necessarily true. An elective class is anything that students take that go above and beyond the graduation requirement, okay? For example, as we already explained that, there is a 2-year requirement for LOTE, right? Let's say that your freshman comes in, or you as a freshman, you take, Spanish 1, Spanish 2, you fulfill your 2 years. That 3rd year of Spanish will be an elective course. It is an academic class, but it will be under the elective pool because it goes above and beyond the minimum graduation requirements, okay? As a freshman, okay, the courses that are selected here as the elective pool, they just happen to coincide with our quote unquote fun classes, okay? And this is why, a lot of our 10th, 11th, 12th graders, misinterpret this, because as we go along this, right, you'll see that a lot of these courses are the courses that we typically think about elective courses. So you've already selected your core classes. Now we're going to select courses to fulfill those 7 spots that you need to take, during your freshman year. We'll explain a little bit of each one of these, right? Ag farm to table. It's learning about the industry of agriculture from what it takes from what happens at the ground level all the way to the production level that it takes. What you have to do in order to make sure that you have food on the table. AP Human Geography is the study of human cultures as they move through through the globe and the new cultures that they created as they moved. Art is pretty self-explanatory, right? I have some art pieces behind me, right? If you want to learn how to do art. Audio production, Ms. Mays, you want to talk a little bit about that one? That's a new one.
I knew you were going to do that to me, Mr. Flores. How did I know such a thing was going to happen? Audio production, right? If you've ever been to a concert, and this was covered in the video that we sent out to you, but if you've ever been to a concert and you've seen that guy working the big soundboard, the class there will get you started on how to do audio for different sorts of media, like concerts, film scores, different how to produce audio. But honestly, like we don't teach these classes. We don't even take these classes. We have provided you a link to the much better descriptions that came from your teachers, and you can click on that link, and it was also emailed out to you. So hopefully you've already looked at some of these so that you have much better descriptions than we can provide right here. But if you have questions, you can email us. But I think that is enough for audio production, hopefully.
Right. Can we make sure that we show them how to scroll? Because I don't want people to miss that there are more elective.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then automotive. Mr. Flores, you can talk about automotive?
Sure. Automotive is mechanica, right? Learning how to fix the engine, right, of your car. We used to have auto shop a long time ago. That was auto body, actually. That was fixing the outside, the shell of the car. We haven't had that in a few years, but I still get asked that question. Now it's, you learn how to fix the engine, fix the brakes, change the tires, that sort of thing. Stuff that I should have learned a long time ago, but I didn't. Anyway, then we have ceramics, right? Voila, if you want to learn how to do stuff like this. This actually came from a ceramics class. This is pretty advanced. So it's pottery, right? No, you're not going to do this right away. You're probably going to do like little stuff at first, right? So you learn how not to blow up ceramic tiles. Concert band. For concert band, you do need to know how to play an instrument already. If you don't know how to play an instrument, you can take rock band or guitar, and those will be there somewhere in there. We don't know if we're going to have construction technology next year. We're hoping, right? We've had construction for the last few years. We didn't get an instructor last semester, and we don't know if that class will be there. But we are going to leave it, up there just in case we have an interest, and hopefully we'll be able to hire someone for that class. Culinary Arts is pretty popular with our freshmen. Gastronomia, it's the art of learning how to cook. And just be mindful that if we get a lot of students asking for culinary arts or any of these courses, first choice will go to, seniors, juniors, sophomores, okay? If we have a lot of people picking culinary arts, if that's your number one choice, make sure you have a very good second choice that you'll like, okay? Because we've had to take freshmen out of culinary arts in the last couple of years because it was so popular. Luckily, last year we were able to offer an extra class, and we were able to, put a couple of freshmen in culinary arts. Digital filmmaking, it's learning how to use, the camera, how to add a B-roll onto a digitized sort of movie, right? Learning how to use a green screen in the background. Guitar, like I mentioned, you do not need to know how to play an instrument to play guitar. That's a beginning level sort of class. But if you already know how to play the guitar, Mr. Natali will welcome you to be there. I hear kids, rocking in that class all the time. Journalism, Ms. Mays?
Yeah, so journalism, that is a class you could take. It puts out the school newspaper, the Hounds Bark, and I'm gonna fix that spelling after we're done. But you can sign up if you have a passion for writing and you want to be a part of our wonderful Hounds Bark. You can sign up for journalism. And then finally, we have Yearbook. So if you want to be part of who puts out the yearbook at the end of the year, you would select Yearbook. And we actually do not include rock band as a choice for freshmen because it's actually the second class after you take guitar. But every year, some students end up in rock band or guitar just because we're a small school, and that's what kind of happens. But for the purpose of this exercise, or for you picking your classes, you only would pick guitar or concert band if you're currently already playing an instrument. All right, again, I'm sure you have lots of questions about what each of these classes cover, what do you learn in each, and what do you do? There's the video that was sent out. There are descriptions on our website, and we will show you how to access all of that if you haven't already. But it is very, very, very important that you not do what I just did, okay? We get it, culinary is super important. Or maybe you really love the idea of AP Human Geography and you really want to make sure you get that class. This is not how you do that, all right? We really need 4 different choices. And unfortunately, you see there's this error down here. It will let you do it. It's trying to tell you not to, because we want to make sure that you are taking classes and learning about things that are interesting to you. So please pick 4 different things so that we have as much information to give you the best schedule possible. Okay. Good, Mr. Flores, you think that's good?
Yep, that's perfect, actually.
Okay. So, and again, this information is available in Spanish, and you can complete, and all of the information we went through is available in Espanol And you'll be able to complete all of that information on the Google form that will be mailed out to you most likely tomorrow morning.
Bueno, toda esa información está incluida también bilingüemente en español. Lo único que tienen que hacerle, hágale clic en la forma, ¿verdad? Para que lo vean en español. Okay. Yeah. I think that's the end of the Google form, right?
Yep. Excellent. So what's next, right? What do you do once if you're at Healdsburg Junior High, if you're a current student in our district, this will be emailed out to both students and parents, the emails that are in Aries. If you are joining us from outside of Healdsburg Unified School District, you go to one of our amazing schools in this area, you will need to contact our registrar, Hannah Gutman, so that you can pre-enroll and we can make sure that you do live within the boundaries. And once you've done that, then we will email out the form to you. All right. And we hope that you do that soon, because we would like this form to be completed by February 11th. Okay. So we want to know the classes that you want to take, and we need this information to help us start planning. Now, if you have not decided yet what school you're going to next year, or there's lots of decisions to be made and choices, it is really okay. This has been a lot of information. We're going to tell you how you can contact us. We're going to also be able to answer some questions here tonight. But of course, things are going to come up. You're going to have questions, and February 11th is pretty soon. It's really soon, actually. It's like 10 days away, right? So we know that these questions are going to come up. You can contact us, and just know that what you choose tomorrow or what you choose by February 11th, it can change. Things change all the time. And students also have time at the beginning of the year to make some changes and to request some changes. They can't always be done, but we do try our best to make sure that you're in classes that you actually, are in classes that you want to learn about. Okay. So we know that this is quick, but there is time in the future to make changes. And I know this is a lot of information, and everyone, but we're almost done. We promise. We promise. Okay. And we do, though, want you to be able to navigate to this information. So there is a section on our website. Maybe you've already been there. We hope so. You can click on or go to that site on our website. It's our lovely main page with our wonderful principal. And then if you go down to course selections, it's right there. You can click on that. And this information is there, how to get the Google form, who we are, the registrar, graduation requirements, which we did not go over tonight, but that information is there. The elective descriptions, our course catalog, some additional videos to give you information. There's lots of information on our website that you can access. All right, and now I believe we are at the question and answer period.
Ms. Mays, I have a question for you, or me. So a question that I usually get from parents who are not in the district just yet, right? Their students are not at the junior high. They've asked me before, will my student get their, what they really want to take, their first choice, second choice in terms of their electives? Will it matter if we do this right away, or will it not? So I get that question asked at least, 4 or 5 times every year via email. So do you have anything to say to our parents who are not yet registered with us?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I get that same question. There's no way to guarantee that you get your first choice, whether you fill it out tomorrow or you fill it out the day you enroll in August. There's no way to guarantee, but the sooner that you give us the information, then we know, and we'll do our best to make sure that you are in a class and learning what you want to learn about, whether it's automotive, culinary, AP Human Geography. So we do our best to make sure that you are in a class that you feel comfortable in and are learning what you want to learn. But there is really no way to guarantee that that happens. So, you don't have to have it in by a certain time, but we do want to know what you want to learn and what classes you're going to sign up for. So the sooner the better, but there is no way to guarantee that you'll get your first choice or even your second or third or fourth choice. That's why we ask for all of those choices.
Thank you.
Did I
Ms.
cover
Mason.
that, Mr. President?
Yes, thank you. That was very clear. Now we have a couple of hands raised. I've seen Sergio and Damien have been, raising their hands all night long. So I'm gonna go to them first before I go to Alex. So Sergio, you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask us your question.
So Sergio, if you have a question, you just raise your digital hand, which is at the bottom. There's an icon, and it's called reactions. Sergio, we've asked you to unmute, so you should be able to.
All right, so it sounds like maybe he doesn't want to talk. That's fine. He's shy now. Damien, would you like to say something? Would you like to ask us a question?
Hello, sir. I have a question.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
After the Zoom, is the form gonna be available for me?
Yeah,
Excellent question.
Ms. Mays mentioned at the beginning that we're going to email this form to everyone. Okay, right after this is done. Okay.
Okay.
We did not send it ahead of time because we wanted to make sure that people, actually listen to the presentation, so they knew what to expect. Because sometimes we get students ask, and parents sometimes asking us like, how come my student did not get culinary arts? How come I did not get, art? Okay, so we just want to make sure that's clear.
Was that you, Sergio?
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
Sergio. Okay.
Yes, it was me.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sergio. And it's going to go to your school email at the junior high and also to your family. Okay. And welcome. I'm Miss Jones-Kerr. I'm going to be your new principal.
All right, Sergio. And Damien, do you have a question?
Oh, I just wanted to say, how are you guys?
Thank you. We're doing really well.
Damien,
That's really
we
nice.
are wonderful.
How are you guys?
We're doing really well.
Oh,
Tired,
yeah,
kind of late. We're still here. All right, thank you, Damien. Mijo, the next person in line was Alex.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so we just have a question about students who would be interested in languages other than Spanish, taking classes at the JC. Would that completely fulfill their language obligations?
Yes, so for that, we highly recommend that you email your son's school counselor or your daughter's school counselor. But yes, there are ways to do that, and you can, students can do ASL, they can do, I believe, German, Italian, French, SRJC. But we do want you to at least, make an appointment to see your counselor because, we want to make sure that we're aware of what's happening and the classes that you're taking. Okay.
Are there other places besides the JC, or are the classes online, or how will that work?
Yeah, Ms. Mason, want to take that one?
Yeah, there are other options, and you would want to connect with your school counselor to make sure that you are choosing a class that we can accept credit from. So that is something that you would want to work directly with your school counselor, but there are other options there than just Santa Rosa Junior College. There are other online schools where we accept credit. But it's very specific. So it's why you'd want to work directly with your school counselor or your son or daughter's school counselor to make sure that you are signing up for and paying for a class that will actually go towards the graduation, and if, you know, college requirements, if that's something that you want to fulfill, and that's your goal, which is great, we support that. But also you do need to know that unless you tell us ahead of time, the school board does mandate that all freshmen be in an A through G course of study, freshmen and sophomores, which that means Spanish at our high school. So, because we only offer one language other than English. So if you don't let us know ahead of time that you are planning to do something elsewhere, then when you show up in August, you will have Spanish 1 in your schedule. So that's why it's very important that you contact us, and I'll put that information back up.
Right.
And let us know, and then we can help you find the right, like the best place to get those credits completed.
You know, I've had families that did not contact either Ms. Mays or myself, and they took foreign languages in through programs that were not accredited, right? And that created, you know, some problems here in terms of not only graduation, but A through G completion. So just, you know, I mean, we're so available. Just send us an email and we'll be more than happy to sit down with you. Okay. Thank you. And then we have Carmen next.
Hi, I'm Sebastian.
Hi, Sebastian.
Are we able to take integrated math 3 when we first come into the high school?
Yes, you know, I did mention that for the purpose of this exercise, students will only, you know, be able to select either IM1 or IM2. Yes, we do have freshmen this year taking IM3, right? I've even had freshmen in the past taking pre-calculus, right? But for those, we highly encourage you to, you know, set an appointment to talk to your school counselor, so we can set up the, you know, the academic plan for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And just pick IM2 and then email us, and we'll make the switch for you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sebastian. Mary Cervantes is next.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Mari Cervantes y la pregunta es para Ever, en cuanto a lo que nos estabas diciendo, a lo que entendí, si mi hijo o mi hija ya hablan español en casa, ella puede tomar el español 3, ya no tiene que tomar el 1 ni el 2, ¿verdad? Solo para clarificar, Ever.
Sí, exactamente.
Ok, gracias.
All right. Her question was, if my daughter is already speaks Spanish, can she go into Spanish 3? You know, and I said yes, definitely she may. Okay. All right. Then Damien, is that you again? Raising your hand, or you're done? All right, I think Damien's done. And Sergio?
How do we find our courses?
Oh,
That was Damien.
I need help.
how do you find the questions?
The courses, the course
Oh, the
list, the
courses.
Google form will be emailed. So it's going to your school email, your parents' email, if you are a current student at the junior high. If you are from outside of our district, then it'll be emailed to the parent email once you've been pre-enrolled and pre-registered.
Those are great questions, everyone. Thank you.
Excellent.
Sergio, you have your hand raised again. Sergio?
Okay.
Hello, so are you gonna send us the link?
Yes, you know, we're gonna send you the link to your school email address, okay?
No, they can't. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome,
Miss
Neil.
Otto, please do not assign homework tomorrow.
Okay, Norma Camargo.
Hi, thank you so much for this presentation. This is very helpful. If my student has an IEP, do we wait before selecting classes, or can we select them and then you guys will reach out to us if you guys need to change anything?
Yeah, you can go ahead and select them now. I mean, there's going to be a transitional IEP meeting anyway at the junior high before your kid is moved to the high school. So it would be nice for us to know what sort of electives your son or daughter wants to take. But that's individualized, right? So once that transitional IEP happens, we'll get an email from the junior high saying this is what you asked for your son or daughter, and you'll be part of that in that conversation. So, but go ahead and fill it out, right? Like Ms. May said earlier, this is not set in stone just yet. Okay, we just want to make sure that we get an idea as to what courses our students are asking for next year. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Sure, no problem. Then we have, I want to go to Christina before Damien. Okay, so Christina.
Yeah, hi. I have a question about Avid program, and what is the difference between Avid and Freshman Compass, and how do we know like which route would be best for our student to take?
Ms. Mace is our Avid counselor, so Ms. Mace.
Excellent question. They've been really great questions all night.
Right.
So Avid, advancement via individual determination. There's actually some criteria that you have to meet in order to be in Avid. You have to be a underrepresented group. You have to be part of a group that is underrepresented in college. So that could be first generation, that's me. You could be, a person of color, someone who is, not typically, overrepresented in college. It's also designed for students in the academic middle. So, students with GPAs of 2.0 to about 3.5, 3.0, 3.5. Is it's designed to help those students in the middle who just need that little extra push, and then through their own individual determination are then college ready. So who would then be college ready. So if that sounds like you, then Avid is a great choice and you can join our Avid family. If you're a straight A student, but you're like, but Miss Mace, I want to go to college too, you will get all of that information in Freshman Compass and in Junior Seminar, which are College and Career / Junior Seminar, which is a graduation requirement. And then we also go into classes. We were in sophomore English classes all day today, and we'll be in there tomorrow. So there's lots of other ways to get that information. But Avid is a program that is specifically designed for students in the academic middle who need that little extra support to be college eligible and ready. So hopefully that answered your question.
Thanks. Yeah, I think they're muted, so they won't be able to respond.
Yeah, I saw that.
We have Damien. We have Damien again. Damien, back to you. What's your question, Mijo?
What time does school start?
That's a great question. Right now it starts at 8 o'clock.
Kind of dumb.
But we don't know what time it'll start next. Is it next year, Ms.
It's starting at 8:30 a.m. Legislation was approved, and so HHS will be beginning at 8:30 a.m. next year. Good question.
Excellent question.
Then we have Gretchen Miyaki.
Hey, thanks you guys. This is great. I know that you just went over it and I've heard this many times and I still am not clear the difference between Avid and Compass. I thought I understood, and then you said the same information will also be covered in Compass. So now I feel confused again.
Oh.
We go back to that slide.
Yeah. It's either or, right? So you'll do Avid or you'll do Compass. So if you're taking an Avid class, you're not going to take the Freshman Compass class. I think that's where the confusion lies. Okay.
And just want to emphasize that both of those, we're going to go over college college requirements and college things. You're going to get all of that. It's just, again, it's a very strategic, there's set curriculum for Avid. And I highly recommend, if you're interested in it, you know, Google, research it a little bit. And it is a very amazing program, you know, for students, again, where you might feel like my child needs a little bit of more coddling, a little bit to help them through, or my child maybe doesn't do well in tests, or certain things that you feel they need to be pushed and have a little bit of extra attention in the program. So if you want more information, you know, look it up, or you can always meet with a counselor to find out more. And again, you know, once school starts, if your child feels that they aren't in the right place, or you do, make an appointment with your counselor, and we do have a few weeks to make a schedule change if absolutely needed.
See, notice what Ms. Mace is doing there. You can only pick either one, right? You can pick either Avid or Freshman Compass. So, and that's why it'll, you know, Avid will cover some of the same information as Freshman Compass, because it is a graduation requirement. Okay.
And I would say it's you know, you should sit down with your student and really talk about this, you know, make this decision a decision that you make together, and think about your options, and then work with your counselor, because they will be able to guide you and direct you. They've done it to hundreds of students. So they can, you know, bring that experience to that decision that you'll make as a family.
Next, we have Scott Pratt. Scott.
Yeah. Hi, this is Grace, Scott's wife. We have 3 questions. My first question is there an orientation for incoming students? And the second question is, when does school start in the fall?
Good question. Let's see. I'm looking at, we have a draft right now. Typically we start, let me see when the first day. It looks like a draft as of right now is the 17th of August. It's not board adopted yet, so don't quote me on this, but that's typically the week that we start here. Orientation. Yes, we will be putting together an orientation before school starts in August for students to come in. That's typically where they get their lockers, you know, all that good stuff. Sign up for clubs and whatnot, but that will not happen until the very beginning of August. I also just want to stress again, hi everyone, I'm Amy Jones-Kerr. I'm the principal of Hillsburg High School. I want to welcome you, of course, to our amazing school. We're so excited that you're here listening to our program, but I also want to extend the invitation. If you ever want to come and meet with me or meet with your counselors, please, relationships to us are huge. We view ourselves as an educational partnership. And if you want to come in and check out the campus, you know, with COVID and everything going on, we're not allowing actual shadowing, but I do welcome you if you want to email me and come and make an appointment to tour the campus and have your child come tour the campus. I'm totally open to that. I feel it's very, very important for students to come see where they're going so that they feel comfortable. So please take me up on that offer. And I can answer more questions while you're here.
and the person under
I think Ms. Pratt, do you have another question?
Yeah, we have one more question.
Yes.
So we're coming from outside. I mean, not outside. We're coming from not within the school district already. I noticed that on the registration requirements in the packet, one of the things that it's asking for is teachers' recommendations for English and math placement. But there's actually just included in the packets a recommendation form for math. Do you want the language arts teachers to write something up? Or how do you want us to do that?
That's a really great question. And in the past, we have had different options for English, but as you can see here, there's one choice for English, which is English 9. So majority of our students will take English 9. So we do not need a recommendation. We might need to update some of our registration paperwork, but all of our students, almost 99% of, well, maybe 95% will take English 9, right? And then you will then have choices after that. So we do not need a recommendation from your English language arts teacher, but we would like the information from your math teacher, because we do use your choices as well as information from your previous teachers, as well as sometimes standardized test scores. We use a lot of different information when it comes to placement in our math courses. So if you can provide that information from your 8th grade math teacher. If you are outside of Healdsburg Unified School District, we definitely need that information, but we do not need information from your English language arts teacher. And hopefully that was clear.
That was super clear. Thank you. Got it.
Great.
Welcome. Just to give everyone a chance, we're going to go with Angie since Sergio, you already asked a couple of questions. Angie.
Yes, I just wanted to clarify. Did I hear someone say that school starts at 8:30?
Yes, that is correct. Legislation was passed and approved, and actually many high schools have already began to start at 8:30. So Hillsburg High School next year, it's mandatory that we do start no earlier than 8:30. So we are beginning at 8:30 next school year.
Okay, so then my next question is, what's the earliest we can drop off our student? I know it's a funny question. It's just that some of us parents start at 8, so I just need to know what's the earliest.
Great question.
That is a good question because this is all new for us. Yes, I need to exactly clarify, on a district level. My guess, don't quote me on this, would be 7:45 would probably be the earliest, just because we are bumping back a little bit. It is earlier right now because we started 8, but 7:45, we want to be accommodating to parents that do have to drop their children off. So
thank you.
Hopefully that will work. And just come talk to me if we have a special circumstance where you work far away or something, and we can work something out.
Oh, that's great. Okay, thank you. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have Patricia Dex. Patricia.
Sí, buenas noches. Mi pregunta es, yo sí quisiera una cita con un consejero, pero no sé si es con ustedes o con los de la Junior High.
Es con nosotros. Si
¿con
va a hablar acerca de la preparación de la preparatoria de su hijo.
Oh, está bien.
Muchas
gracias.
De nada. Shannon.
All right, so I just have one question. Because we're starting at 8:30, does that mean our school day is going to get pushed a bit further?
Oh, you asked the number one question. Currently, right now, we are playing with our schedule and we're trying to figure out if we are simply going to push it back or if we're going to balance it all out. So the short answer is we don't have a solidified planned out schedule right at the moment. We are currently working on it as a staff. What we do know is that we have to start at 8:30, and we do know that you will have 7 classes. That is for sure. And at the absolute latest you would get out would be 4:15, but not every day. So we will have that information to you very soon though. And busing and sports and all that will be accommodated through that, because every high school everywhere will be starting at 8:30.
And we have Sergio Vasquez, otra vez. Sergio.
Yeah.
And by the way, Sergio, this is our last question of the night because it is 6:58 and we have a hard stop of 7 o'clock. Okay.
Sergio, you can email us tomorrow, right? We can call you at school tomorrow if you want to.
But this is perfect. All right, Sergio, mijo, go ahead.
All right, so we get out at 4:15, right?
We don't know.
We don't know. I said that's the absolute latest.
Oh, okay. So, are we gonna get that same Google form that you showed?
Yes, mijo, you're gonna
That's
get
it, Sergio.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
All right.
I promise I will send it out. And I do want to say that there was a really excellent question asked in Spanish, and my Spanglish is, but I understood what the question was, and I wanted to share the question for everyone because I think it was a really good question that Patricia, I believe, asked about which counselor to connect with if you have questions. And it is your counselor here at Healdsburg High School. So it would be either myself, Kelly Mays, if you're at the beginning of the alphabet, or Mr. Flores, if you're at the end of the alphabet. I thought that was a really great question, and we want to make sure that you all get that answer and are clear.
Thank you, Ms. Mays. Yes. And then Damien, I know you have a lot of questions, mijo, but you can just go ahead and email us, okay? And then we'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you.
Damien's excited for high school.
We
love it.
His name. So anyway, so it is 7 o'clock on the dot. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of Hillsborough High School for being here and listening to us. Feel free to email us. And Ms. Jones-Kerr, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, just in closing, it's been an absolute pleasure having you listen to our information. And we look forward to welcoming your child to become a Greyhound. Very exciting. Our school's amazing and wonderful, and you're going to love it. And welcome to HHS.